After 2 long months, I finally got the Charlotte vlog done. There's the Washington Monument on my way to the Airbnb in North Carolina. Got stuck in some traffic in Virginia and then had a little photo shoot at my first cookout experience. It was about 40 minutes away from the house, but I was hungry and had to stop. I will say though, very good. Couldn't believe that you could get this for $8. So I fueled up, and then I went back on the road for a little short drive before pulling up to the house, where you'll see in this next one, the backyard and the dock, and then got settled in and watched some Florida State Builders Area Pro Series from Kansas.
Take the house on again, Jake. Record. Somebody record. He got it. Jake got it right here. He ain't there. Oh, he ain't there. Ah! Oh, shit. Yeah, you did. There it is. Dave got it. Ah! They did it again. Oh! He did it again. Oh!
My biggest problem with bunker shots, especially greenside bunkers, I have a mental issue of bringing.
So after a fun night of beer pong and other festivities, this is the morning after. We went to bed at 2 in the morning, but nonetheless, we made the trip to 2311 Airspeed. There's Tyler Reddick's car that he won from last spring, and there's the wall. Very cool. It's got MJ and all the drivers with Denny, part of the team. And then there's Bubba's first win from 4 years ago. And you'll notice there's a plaque on the wall of all of their wins. Brad's looking at it, but I looked at it a little closely because the first one, it's got the wrong date for Talladega on there. April 25th. That was the spring. Bubba won in October. Don't worry, because I tweeted at Denny Hamlin about it, and in between the time then and now, they have made the change. As you can see, there's the iconic 23 logo with the shoes in the room, and then there's the shop below. Very cool, very, very neat. So slick, so clean. There's Tyler Reddick's 45 Pinnacle car. Don't remember when he ran it. But there's Corey Himes' 67 that I do remember him running from Nashville. And here's Riley Herbst's car. For some reason, they were pulling it back in the shop, but it was all right. It was a very fun experience. And then we made the trip over to Hendrick Motorsports. When visited their shop, looking at the trophies. So iconic, RIP Auto Club. There's Dale Jr.'s win from Pocono when he swept in 2014. And then there's Byron and Bowman's show cars on display. And I thought this one was pretty cool. This was the Martinsville grandfather clock that Byron won from 2024. I think that's just such a flex to have in the shop with that many trophies. So there's Jeff Gordon's 07 DuPont car. This was from when he ran the Busch Series. I don't remember when. This next one from the Truck Series. Couldn't tell you when that was from, but that was in the 90s for sure. Now, I couldn't tell you when they ran the Corvette, which was pretty cool, but that is the big beast they ran from the 24 Hour of Le Mans in the background. Here's some placards that they had of different Hendrick guys. They had one of Junior and his 2012 win from Michigan, his fire suit, gloves, and helmet. That was pretty cool. This was also pretty cool. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, their show cars were over there. And then in the background of this next one, you can see the championships above with different trophies. Now, I don't know if those are actually all of Jimmy Johnson's. I only saw 7, so that's what came to my mind, but who knows. Anyway, we went to Charlotte later, very soon after this, actually. There's Ryan Priestess Haller, by the way. We went over to get our credentials for Friday and Saturday. You can actually see me in the bottom left there. Hello. Yep, there's the credential. It was pretty neat because it was on Memorial Day weekend, so I didn't know what to expect from that. But there's the drag strip from Charlotte, and just in the nick of time, we saw a few trucks at the tail end of practice. That was pretty much it. But we went over to the infield, well, outside the track. It was the fan activation zone, and this is pretty neat. So this is the BetMGM stand they had with Kyle Busch, and then actually was the trophy for the Xfinity race the next day. And yep, there's just the updated placard, but that is pretty much the same thing that was over by the activation sign. So that was cool. There's that. I thought that was pretty neat. The car was above, and then we made our way to the infield. Now this is just some random photos I took of the infield. There's a stack of tires over by the Goodyear hauler. Pretty neat. Again, we're working our way through the infield. Blown away by how big the infield was just at Charlotte. There's part of the Roval. Couldn't tell you what turn that is, but I think it's turn 3, turn 4 maybe. And then for some reason, I like taking photos of the track just because of the banking that you can see from this perspective into the turn. And then very closely, you can take a close look at who that is. And I didn't even recognize it until Bryce did. That's Bobby Labonte. Just chilling in the infield. Got a photo with him. He didn't like my Zilla shirt, which that's okay. It's no Toyota driver. But there's some military activation they had on the backstretch by the big screen. And then this is where we sat initially for the ARCA race until we moved over here and got some clips from that. Hope you enjoy.
Hey, tire spin.
Overall, a very cool ARCA race to watch. Saw the big one happen in front of me thanks to Cletus, and saw Austin Green, a first-time winner. Did not expect that to happen. That was pretty cool to see. There's us watching the Dale Earnhardt documentary on Amazon before heading back to some beer pong.
It's all
Yeah, shout out to Chris. He had a bum ankle the whole trip, but he pulled through, especially on Saturday. This was Saturday morning, and then this was us heading to the track where Garrett and I, both big Larson fans, by the way, were able to run through the tunnel and see the 5 qualify. Yeah! That was him! So, of course, Larson would win the pole. After that, we went through the garage area and onto pit road for some pre-race action, or pre-race, well, not ceremonies. That's on the front stretch. But, again, still cool to see everything up close and in person, behind the scenes in the garage area, to the pit boxes on pit road. And then, you know, some people were pulling up alongside of us, taking photos. And I got to wondering what was with the big fancy camera. This is just... There they are on the right. This is just my photo of the pit attenuator from the roll side of things. And you'll notice I'm in the background of this one because I'm talking to some Duke football players. Here I am, chatting it up with cornerback Chandler Rivers, one of the top corners in the nation, projected first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. And alongside him was the taller guy in the gray shirt, quarterback Darian Mensah, transfer from Tulane. Chatted with those guys for a bit. They were cool to talk to. Before I left, I asked Darian, the tall guy, if he had a dog in a fight, who he thought was going to win. He really didn't have one. It was his first race ever. But he asked me who I had, and I said, well, it depends who I have money on. I told him I had money on the 17, which was William Byron. Told him he was a Cup driver, had more experience in these cars than most drivers in the field, and I don't think he remembers, but I do remember at the very end of the race because I kind of predicted the race winner to him, but didn't really know it. There's Kyle Sieg's car. Very cool. And then here we are walking on pit road for a bit. And then it was time to head to the front stretch for some pre-race ceremonies. And again, never did this in Pocono. This was very surreal, very cool to see. Walk across the infield and onto the front stretch, I should say. There's my view. And for those wondering, this is a close-up of a safer barrier. Didn't touch the actual styrofoam part, but that outside part, that is steel. That is pretty hard to hit. And then here's some driver intros.
From Tucker, Georgia, Kyle C. Hey, big move on the ball from Tucker, Georgia, Ryan C. K9s for Warriors and the work they do for our veterans. From Winston, Georgia, Austin Hill.
After that, we walked across the front stretch AstroTurf. It's not grass, it's AstroTurf. Took some photos with Kyle Sieg and Ryan Sieg. This is Ryan. And then the next one will be Kyle. Very cool. Shout out to these guys for making this happen with us and all the area boys on the weekend. There are some helicopters flying over, and in the background you'll hear David.
Man, where'd they go?
Shout out David. And then we walked over to where we watched the first portion of the race. We ain't even start yet. Damn, Seven's got issues.
Bobby runs in, gets on at Bojangles.
Now again, this is where we watched the first portion of the race up until the Chris Wright caution, but this was the camera well by turn 4, which again, very cool to see up close and in person. This is where all the photographers were. This was the hole for them to climb into. I just was in front of it and did not want to go into it, but a very cool experience nonetheless. Very cool to see these cars up close and in person, especially during the race. Very loud. If you don't have earplugs, good luck. You're going to be deaf soon. I tried to limit that, but this is where we watch the first portion of the race and just watch and listen. After that, we made our way to the grandstands, and this is where we watched the rest of the race from, and a pretty cool view looking out of turn 4. And this is what I captured from the rest of the race.
He'll lead them off turn number 2. Is William Martin working the top of the
Now, I have no clue why I did this, but this was my perspective of the race with my $200 Rowdy Shady Rays. Yes, Rowdy, because in Kyle Busch, Shady Rays with some infrared thing. This is how I saw the race from the whole time, even though it was cloudy. It was very cool nonetheless, and you'll see what it was like in reality after I take the sunglasses off the camera, but this was my perspective of the entire race.
Jesse Love, Jeff Burton, and Blake Perkins, those five. and you see Catherine Light, she is the green car there. And it looks like Chris Wright is the white car. Wright gets way down the back into Catherine Light. Yep.
He gets his car pushed right up in it. She had nothing to do with that wreck except being the car that was targeted on that issue.
Now, actually, that's the 53 machine. We've got side damage as well. We talked about the side, the damage on the damage on the number 5 machine, but that's J.J. Healy in the 53.
Never mind now. Oh, of course, Kyle, nowhere to go.
Kyle C gets involved, and
I mean, how? How is that even happening? Yeah, it's gonna take 10 years to get his car back to pit road.
He pounded that fast dude bad.
Smokey on the pit lane. Celebrate for him at the end. William Byron, though. Justin Allgaier used all the racetrack.
He's what I'm talking about.
Finally, Byron just wedged his way by. Just pushed the door on. New tires just overcame what was a superior car. We thought it was a 7. Very evenly matched 35. William Byron wins for the first time in the Xfinity Series here at Grove Motor Speedway.
a fantastic day nonetheless. And then this was Saturday night on the dock. And Mason letting everybody know that we had a beer pong tournament going on. Beer pong tournament!
What's going on?
And then comes Sunday. So there's not much from Sunday, just some photos I took of the dock and the backyard. Again, very cool Airbnb. I did take some videos though. There were some ducks that were right next to the lake, and eventually they'll go into the lake, but overall it was a fun trip. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos or more photos. I will try to do that, at least at the track. Off the track, I'm not sure, because I kind of want to keep that stuff private, and I don't really want to video everything. Anyway, here was the food we cooked up. Mac and cheese, corn, baked beans. We had condiments on the side. We had burgers. We had hot dogs. We had chicken. We had chips. Shout out Mason for cooking, and Chris too. This was right before the Coke 600. We were about to get ready, sit down, start eating, but our neighbors on the other side of the lake, they made a loud discovery, very frightening discovery of a dead body under their dock. No joke. This was the scene, a very sad scene. It was a deceased 19-year-old, not releasing the name. Sad overall. Very weird to end the trip that way. Some guys didn't sleep well Sunday night. But that was our trip to North Carolina. Sorry to end that on a weird note, but we will have more vlogs in store for Daytona in 3 weeks' time. Until then, I'll see you guys later, and stay safe, everyone.